It's really frustrating, but not shocking to see what I've been seeing on the news. I'm constantly seeing, baby's been found abandoned somewhere. Baby has been left at this place, found dead. These type of headlines. And it's just recently, actually today, they found a newborn baby dead by, I believe, a chemical plant, a concrete plant. I think that's what it was. I'm looking at this and I'm just like, this whole thing, and I don't care what generation it is, of I should be able to have sex because this is my body, my choice. First and foremost, no, it is not your body, okay? It's not your body. You do have a choice, but it's not yours. For those that live in God and believe in Christ, our body belongs to the Lord. And don't get me wrong, I have made plenty of mistakes, but I've learned from them and I've grown from them, and God has given me a new perspective, a new way of thinking, a new, I guess you could say, rule book to go by. Not just following rules, to get to heaven, but just simply because I believe in Christ, and it's faith that brings obedience. It's faith in Christ that brings about obedience. It's not obedience that brings faith in Christ. And so because I believe in Christ, I want to obey him. And so, going back to this whole thing, well, this is my body, I can do what I want with it. And let's just kind of sit to the side the whole God thing, believing in Christ. Have we really come to this ideology that having sex doesn't come with a consequence? Having sex brings forth children. When you have sex, children come from sex. So now what we're seeing is people, I can have sex because it's my body, I can do what I want with it. You're having sex, and because you don't want the consequence that comes with it, let's throw away the consequence. That is the purpose of having sex, is to procreate. That's what women were meant to do, procreate. And we are just out here throwing away children. We're throwing away babies because people are not responsible. Children are not being responsible. And honestly, we are failing our kids. I have kids myself. I have children. And and I pray to God that he gives me all of the strength and the wisdom and the patience to bring up my own children, because I know that there are going to be certain things that they involve themselves in where God, I'm really going to have to pray to God and God, give me what I just told you, wisdom, strength, patience to, counsel my own children through this, and I understand we all have our own way. We all have our own journey, but we are failing our kids. We're not telling them anything. We're letting them do what they want to do. There is no discipline. There is no structure. There is no consequences for children's actions. And honestly, ultimately, I really blame mothers. I blame moms, because we have got into our heads that we don't need men, and that we're sleeping around with Henry, Tom, and William, sleeping around, and there's no, we haven't done no type of background on the men that we're involving ourselves with. And I'm not saying that just because you're married, things won't happen. That's not what I'm saying. But it is very irresponsible for a woman to keep having sex with man after man after man, and keep having child after child after child. And it's like, now you're by yourself because this man don't want to have anything to do with you or this child. You're by yourself, you're overwhelmed, and now you're just gonna throw your child out to the wolves. Off to the wolves. Oh, somebody else can raise them. Oh, let me just throw them to the school system because I expect them to raise them. Let me just throw them out to the streets. I don't care what happens, so I'm going to let somebody else raise them. No, it is your responsibility as a mother and also a father to raise your child in the way of the Lord, to raise your child in the way that they should go. We've gotten so far off track. We are failing our kids, and it's so sad to see when I'm seeing on the TV about children throwing away children, adults throwing away children because we don't want to take care of nobody else. We are a selfish people. We're selfish, we're rude, we're cruel, we're wicked, we're inventing other ways to be wicked. Like, this is not a God-fearing nation. We have bended down to the whims of evil, and it's sickening. Honestly, being here, it really sickens my stomach. And I'm like, God, just help me to be more patient, help me to be kind, help me to be upright and righteous before you, because there is so much evil going on around me that I don't want to suffer from the illness. I don't want to be a part of that life anymore. I don't want to be condemned to hell, because hell is a real thing despite of what people believe and what people think and say or whatever. Hell is real just like heaven is real. We are a godless nation. The United States is a godless nation. But God is turning the tables. He has flipped the whole earth upside down, because we are a godless nation, and we think that we can move and we can breathe and we can be without him, and we cannot be anything without God. We cannot be anything. God's mercy and grace and his love and his compassion has been extended and shown through his son Jesus Christ, and yet we pervert his grace. Godless nation. We don't want to raise our children. We don't want to be responsible adults. We're selfish. We're mean and cruel and evil. And God has had his fill. God has had his fill. And so with that being said, I'm just going to say this. The news is not going to get any better. You know, I've had my fair share of tears of what I've seen on the TV. And I'm just like, God, why? Like, why? And I know why. You know, and it's not questioning him. It's just like, why are these people doing this? You know, why? You know, it's so much. It's too much. It can be overwhelming, but God gives his children peace. There is peace in God. There is a calm in him. And there is a peace that nobody can take away. Not even the wickedness of this world. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take that away from me. And so to my people in God, all that I can say is just stay prayed up and understand that God is with his children. God is with his remnant, his chosen people that are standing for him, that are living for him, that have a heart for him, that tries and attempts to seek him daily, that prays to him. He is with those people. He is with you. He is with me. And regardless of what you see around you, stand firm in the word of the Lord. Stand firm in the word of the Lord, and don't let the enemy try to pluck you out of God's garden. We are rooted, planted. We are rooted and planted in him. Stand the test of time. And I'm also talking to myself. Stand the test of time. Stand the tests and the trials that will come to test your faith. And I'm talking to myself. Stand the test of time and be strong in the Lord. I love you, and stay woke in the Lord.